Okay, this is Aziz Attah Memorial College. This uncompleted building has been here for so many years. We're approaching the main roundabout. This road has just been reconstructed by Senator Natasha Akpoti. That's the gate of AAMCO. And of course, we're approaching the campus. This area looks a bit shorter these days now than what it was several days. This was an uncompleted building. It's been here for so many years. Okay, uh, let's get into the campus and see what it looks like. Okay, this road leads to the quarters, but I'm not going to take that way now. This is probably the old signpost that is put here by members of the alumni. So we're going to get into the school compound to see what the environment looks like. There used to be a swimming pool somewhere here. Let's see what it looks like now. This was a swimming pool. I don't know if we ever swam here before, but it's just by the dining quarters. Only God knows whether they have plans to revamp some of these structures. Okay, let's go into the compound and see more. In those days, I'm talking about the late 80s and the early 90s. This was what the dining looked like. I don't know if they still do dining here. I don't know. But the hostels are just somewhere down this way. And this used to be the tennis courts. And then the school library was somewhere around this area. Let's go and take a look. I must confess this still looks like a library, but I don't know. There is no sign to indicate. It looks like a protected place, most likely a library. The kitchen. This should be the entrance into the dining. It doesn't look like there is access. Of course, this is holiday time. Students are on break. This is what the kitchen was like in those days. This was the store. But we'll go down and try to figure out the kitchen. Yeah, this was what kitchen looked like in those days. I don't know. I think it is still very much a kitchen. I'm seeing signs that they still cook here. Yeah, we can see they still cook here. And basically, this is what remains. This is December 27, yeah. And so everywhere is quiet, so we can't really tell how it is when school is in session. Okay, in those days when we were here, there was no building like this, but what I can see is Iyabo Attah family and Abdulaziz Attah Memorial College Clinic. I'm wondering, I think this was established in 2020. I think it's the school clinic now, but I don't think it was here in those days. But this was definitely here. We had these courts for badminton, I think. Badminton hostels were here in those days, and this is one of the hostels. I don't know what it is called, but I'll just take the veranda to see what it looks like. I understand Senator Natasha Akpoti has just renovated some of these blocks, and perhaps it's looking better than what it was in those days. Definitely, this looks like a cleaner hostel. Of course, that's the dining, not too far from the hostel, and then the library. And this is maybe like JSS1 or JSS2 blocks of those days, still in good shape. This is the hostel. Unfortunately, we cannot gain access, but they look well maintained. This is what the mosque looks like. I don't know what. Trying to locate our house. Our house was a few meters away down this road. Okay. These stones have been here for years. And I'm wondering if this road really changed. I know this tree was here. Okay, let's go down and see further. Somewhere around this place, I stepped on a snake's head. And I still remember vividly. It's probably about 22 years ago or 24 years ago, thereabout. I stepped on a snake head. This is where we lived before, and I can imagine what it looks like now. It was our house before. This is the remains of what we used to have. It was not this bushy in our days. Oh my God. So much changes have happened, but it's still a beautiful place. Still a beautiful location. And the staff quarters, we lived here sometimes before we moved to the real quarters. Beautiful. Wonderful. This was the principal's quarters of those days, and this was one of the staff quarters. Simple house, beautiful environment. Oh my God, this brings back so much memories. Okay, this is coming from the principal's quarters area. All these areas were farms and farms and farms. Everybody had a plot of farm, either beside or in front or behind their houses. Quarters, as we say. Like I said, this is one of the biggest quarters, just very close to the principal's quarters that way. I know this building. I don't know what the roof was like in those days. Some of these locations are areas we were very familiar with several years back. This is a segment of the school, a section of the school. I don't even know what happens here now. These were old buildings, but it's pretty nice that this JSS1, JSS2 blocks are looking at sparkling as they used to be. I don't know what this building is for, but I just like the work Natasha has done. I'm surprised that students have not broken these levers, because I don't think they are new. they've been here for ages. I'm surprised that students, boys, all boys for that matter, have not damaged these louvers. Okay, let's go to this historical block. Has a lot of history attached to it. This is another extension of the hostel. Just as one block, I believe. This building is an admin block, and it's a very beautiful one, I can tell you. It could be as old as 90 years now, because this school was established in 1927, and we are in 2024, almost in 2025. So, and this is among the oldest structures in this school. Perhaps there is more to see here. A great lion of the north. So let me see what this is saying. Okay, it says Central School. It was called from 1923 to 1933, says Central School. 1933 to 1950 was called Kabak Province Middle School. Okay, 1951 to 1956 it was called Junior Secondary School. 1956 to 1962 Kabak Province Secondary School. This same school. And then 1963 to 1965 Okene Secondary School. 1966 to 1972 Government Secondary School. And then 1972 to 2024 that I'm speaking to you now, it is called Aziz Attah Memorial College. Beautiful. This looks like what the old fine art studio looked like, but I've not gotten there, but we'll get to see. It's more like the principal's office, and then this block here. Okay, like I said, this is perhaps one of the oldest structures in AAAMCO. This used to be the admin block. It used to be the principal and the VP's office. I don't know what it does now, but this is like the central point of the school where administration is done. As you can see, the flag. I don't know if assembly is done around here, but in our own days, this is the seat of power. As a student, if you are walking towards this area, you don't want to do anything crazy. This is a multi-purpose hall that is called the Rima Hall in those days. I don't know where they got the name Rima from, but it was called the Rima Hall. It's perhaps a beautiful one of the. We had a carol in this hall. This was the SS3 block. This used to be a car park for staff, but I don't know if teachers still have their cars parked here. Natasha has really done a good job. I once hawked in this place for my mom. This is like what we call the fine art studio. Fine art studio. We used to sell somewhere in this spot. We were hawking when people came to ride jump in this school. So much history. And I'm looking at this hall. You can see it's built of stone. Look at the staircase. Tells you of history. It's been built for years and years. It says the back of the final. I wonder why they allow trees to be growing almost into the building. There's a lot of maintenance that should be done in this school. This well here, man, I used to fetch water from here when water became a challenge. These are still classrooms, part of the school blocks. There was a well here, and we all drank from it. I don't know how deep it is now. It's still a well. Wow. I don't like deep places. But this is the remains. This is pretty much a new building, this one. I don't know the classes that use this place now. Whether they still use them, I don't know. But this, oh my God. From the main block, you can see the SS3 block and the stones. This is the hostel, boys hostel. This is the other hostel. And these are the other classes. I don't know what these classes are meant for. I don't know who was schooling here, which class was using this place, but apparently it's been long they used this block. Okay, this is the much I was able to cover. I don't think I did justice to all the structures in the school, but as the much I was able to cover today. I want to say AMCO is perhaps the greatest secondary school in Kogi State, if not in the entire um, uh, North Central. As you can see, it's 1927, so it's almost 100 years old. But this is the much I have been able to cover about the history of the school. Of course, this school holds so much history, and a lot of great people, great minds have graduated from this school. And it's a privilege to visit this school one more time in December 2024. See you next time. God bless.